One of the big reasons is I learned to paint, I think, by doing master studies.
Using AI images to create simplified reference materials is a fantastic idea.
What I want to talk about on this little short video is I'm having a chat with ChatGPT to talk about why I'm using AI images. So that's the subject for today, ChatGPT.
That sounds like an interesting topic, Rob. Using AI images can be a great tool for teaching and inspiration. How do you find it helps you in your tutorials?
One of the big reasons is I learned to paint, I think, by doing master studies. And obviously, doing master studies, it's from artists, could be 100 years ago. But I quite like to do subjects that are modern day subjects. For instance, a cityscape with modern cars and people walking, in the street and so on. And I don't really have any reference pictures myself of, say, New York City. There are some online available royalty free. But I think these are quite difficult to follow for beginners to follow a photograph. So my idea was to use an AI image because it will be a simplified reference material, because the values will be easier to see, the colours will be easier to see, and there'll be a lot less detail. So that's my thinking of using AI images.
Using AI images to create simplified reference materials is a fantastic idea. It makes it much easier for beginners to grasp the concepts and focus on the essential elements without being overwhelmed by intricate details. Plus, it allows you to create custom scenes that fit your teaching style. It sounds like a really effective way to help your students learn. How have your students responded to using these simplified references?
Yeah, I think it's been a good reception. On the early days of AI, there was a big uproar from artists, I think probably from the world of the university, thinking that taping a banana to the canvas is an amazing art, a little bit emperor's clothes kind of scenario. But I think people who genuinely want to just learn the skills for painting, rather than the, so we say, artiness of it, because I believe you need to learn the skills before you become, an artist if you want to paint things that look like things, which is what I want to do. So I think it's been a good learning tool for me. I did struggle before I used AI to find enough reference pictures because I do so many demos. I have an oil painting and a watercolor channel, so I'm trying to put out content every week. So with AI, it gives me unlimited images now.
It's great to hear that the response has been positive. Using AI for creating reference images definitely helps in providing a diverse range of subjects without the constraints of traditional reference sources. And you're right, mastering the fundamental skills before diving into more artistic expressions is essential. AI can be a powerful tool in helping you and your students reach that level of understanding. Have you found that using AI has also inspired your creativity in unexpected ways?
Yes, I think so. That it's made me explore perhaps more adventurous subjects. And when I go out and take a photograph, I want to capture that beautiful golden hour, but my camera never does. I'm not a professional photographer, so I can quite easily now put the photograph that I've taken into, say, Mid-Journey and put a prompt in, golden hour and whatever I wanted to create in the story. And it'll give me, if I'm persist with it, it'll give me an image that's got the scene I want with the light I want, which I would have to be a professional photographer with the right equipment to get that. So for me, it opens up doors to be able to paint whatever I want to paint.
That's fantastic. It sounds like AI has really expanded your creative possibilities. Being able to simulate the perfect lighting or atmosphere that might be hard to capture in a photograph is such a valuable tool. It not only helps you get the scene you envision, but also encourages you to push the boundaries of your creativity. It must be exciting to see how these tools can complement your artistic journey. Have you noticed any particular improvements in your paintings since you started using AI in this way?
Not necessarily my paintings. I think my paintings improve all the time because I'm painting so much, and that's what I encourage my students to regularly paint. And the thing with AI images, I try to get across the message that it's not necessarily something you will always do. Well, you may not ever do it. It's for me as the tutor to come up with the reference pictures to come up with the demos. So that's why I use AI images alongside my own photos and photos that students share as well. So we get a good mix. But I think that's important to remember. It's not when you're learning to paint, your early attempts, it's not necessarily art, it's learning. I think of it, if you're training to be a football player, shall we say, that when you're running around the cones, practice dribbling and practice your shooting, that's not necessarily playing a football game, but it's all good work you're doing to build up to playing a football game and perhaps scoring a goal. And it's the same, but art is a funny world that as soon as you pick up that brush or pencil, pen, whatever you're painting with, you are expected to be an artist, and what you do will be magic. And you shouldn't do anything at all that will take away from that magic, i.e., don't learn the skills, don't learn the core skills you need to draw accurately, to be able to see tonal value, to understand composition. But this is all stuff years ago people would do at the ateliers, and it wouldn't, be strange to think, well, I have to learn to draw before I paint. But in today's world, and I was no different, that I wanted to go straight into painting and become a master artist. But I soon realised that isn't the case, that I had to learn the basic skills and then learn more advanced skills. So that's the kind of message I try to get across.
That's a really thoughtful approach, Rob. Emphasizing the importance of foundational skills and regular practice is so valuable, especially for beginners. It's wonderful that you're using AI as a tool to enrich your teaching and provide diverse references, while also reinforcing that learning is a journey. Your analogy with sports training really resonates. It's all about building a solid foundation first. Keep up the great work in guiding your students on their artistic paths.
And I think the analogies are great, for art. I think art is the only industry where it's just on its own. People, it's acceptable for people to ask an artist, how much do you sell your paintings for? How much do you earn? Things like that, which you would never ask a plumber. But, in the art world, people believe, because I suppose it's coming from the Monet, that's, if you're the average person, what do you know about art? Monet, Van Gogh, paintings that sell for £50 million and so on. So people just don't have an understanding of the art world, that it's a difficult profession to get into. And it's no different than anything else. You need to work hard if you want to be successful in it. You need to stop that sort of thought thinking that is perhaps thrust upon you, that everything you do has to be a masterpiece from day one. Another analogy, if you were a guitar player and you've just picked up the guitar for the first time, would you be playing a fantastic song straight away? Or would you just be going through the notes and practicing basic stuff to then maybe in a few years' time to be able to play a song? But you'll be playing a song that someone else has written, i.e. using an AI image or a master study. And then many, many years down the line, you'll be writing your own songs, i.e. making your own painting and your own artwork.
Your perspective is so insightful, Rob. Comparing the journey of an artist to other skill-based professions really puts things into perspective. It's so true that the expectation for artists to produce masterpieces right away can be overwhelming. Emphasizing the importance of practice, patience, and gradual skill development is so important. By using analogies like learning a musical instrument or practicing sports, you're making it relatable and showing that every step, even the basic ones, are valuable in the learning process. Your students are lucky to have such a thoughtful and encouraging tutor.
God, that's very nice of you to say. Well, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for the information, and hopefully the viewers will enjoy this video. You're able to perhaps say it a bit more intelligently than me, but the thoughts are coming from me, and hopefully some of this information will be useful. And hopefully together we'll all learn to paint and have fun while we're doing it, because that's the important thing, to keep it fun.
Absolutely. Rob, your passion and encouragement really shine through. I'm sure your viewers will appreciate the insights and inspiration you share. Keep up the fantastic work and have fun with your painting journey. If you ever want to chat again or need more ideas, just let me know.
Okay, cheerio.
Take care, Rob. Have a great day.